Now we are going to be talking about building sustainable homes, the future of affordable housing. And to have this conversation, we've just been joined by Dr. Agweze Anthony Ikechukwu, who is an architect. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. And how are you today?
We're fine, thank you. How's the weather?
Definitely, always an important question. The weather is quite cold. I hope I wouldn't cough most of the time during the conversation because I caught some cold a few days ago.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to just go straight into the conversation. What do you think are some of the challenges that we have with affordable housing in Nigeria?
Okay, one of the challenges is affordability. The name simply is self-explanatory. Homes are not affordable. Then another challenge, like I've been working on for in the quite recent past, is the degeneration of the previously delivered homes into what you may call slums. So some homes that were supposed to be affordable were delivered to the people, but over time, they crumbled into slum situation. Therefore, people don't have it affordable, and the few that have them are also not living in the best living conditions, environmentally, so to say.
Okay. When it comes to affordable housing, I see a lot of differences, or building sustainable homes. I see a lot of differences in the houses that we see abroad, the way that we manage housing abroad, even the way that it's being built abroad. So, is a lot different from how we build here in Nigeria. What are the major differences, and what do you think are some of the things that we can copy or adopt, when it comes to housing in Nigeria?
Okay. Let's adopt everything, I will say, but let's simply pay attention to circumstances that determine what we adopt. Okay. One of the circumstances could be the climate. Another circumstance could be the economic situation. Another circumstance could also be the kind of prevailing technology within this society that you want to apply this construction method. And most importantly, you can never downplay the importance of policies, laws, or government influence in adopting some of these things. But in cases where the government may not be readily available and the populace needs something urgently, there should be other self-help ways that people can do them. So, talking about specific examples in what we can adopt, materials, the way they are being applied these days, it wouldn't be like one rigid dogmatic approach to adoption of materials. But when you look at something new, something innovative that will solve the situation on hand, you can always go into it. Like timber. Timber has been there for ages. It can never be new. The only thing is people try timber in a way today. Other people try it in some other ways today. Example is another person will choose to use timber as the exterior material of the building the foundation, building the floors, building the walls, building the windows, the roof, and so on. Another person may decide to combine timber, like building the exterior with cement, blocks, or concrete, and goes inside in the interior to do the partitioning with timber. Therefore, I simply said, let's adopt everything, but pay attention to the climatic conditions and other local contexts.
But durability is very paramount when, building such, right? So considering what you just said, right, and, trying to akin what the practice over there and, copy everything and do it over here. You know how our people are, right? Let's talk about durability.
Okay. Durability, I'll tell you reliably, and you can quote me any day, timber is very durable. Then there are different approaches to it. Today, there are highly engineered timber materials, whereby skyscrapers, as you may, something up to 6 floors, 8 floors, and so on, have been built using timber entirely. So timber is durable. It's all about knowing the right way of applying those timbers. But then we still deal with the problem of acceptability. Acceptability is in the sense that over the years, maybe you and I, considering our presumed ages, have lived most of our lives seeing homes built with bricks or blocks, and waking up one day to be convinced that wood or timber can be used to build your home, you begin to have your doubts. So we have additional role of sensitization to play so that people can as well accept timber as a building material. But I'm not here today to preach about timber in isolation from other building materials.
Yeah, because I was going to even bring to your thought to maintenance of those timber, right? Because sometimes you see termites or whatnot eating these woods.
But like you said, we're not going to talk about, we're not trying to just talk about.
I'm just saying, because if we're trying to copy that, we just have to also put into consideration the maintenance, you know, because that's one thing that we problem of having in Nigeria, maintaining these things. Probably just build and forget about maintaining, and before you know it, the decay starts. Right.
So I want to ask this question.
Okay, about the timber and the termite infestation he just mentioned. Actually, there are anti-termite kinds of timber that exist, even locally in Nigeria. However, without going to those naturally anti-termite timber materials, there are also other forms of treatments that could be done on timber already before construction that would ensure that there is no challenge about termite infestation or some other kinds of rot, because it's all about doing them right. Even the steel, for example, that you use in reinforcing your concrete, if you get the wrong metal material, you will still face the challenge of failure in the construction. But I would want us now to keep flowing in the conversation, because like I said, I wouldn't make it look like we are talking about timber only today.
All right. So, because you said something about the houses that we build here, we build them for, obviously, there are different reasons why we do. Weather is a very important one. And now we're also following the trends of finding affordable electricity, finding affordable power, and all of that. So we're also moving to solar. And the thing is, sometimes when we see houses that are built in Nigeria, we build them with, state of the art. We want to have like a mansion and obodo ibo kind of thing. We want to copy what we see people outside do. And then you now start seeing houses that have very bad ventilation. They don't have very good bad ventilation. They don't have very good ventilation. Light is not entering into the house or whatever. And even now in Nigeria, where we are building houses, jam-packing everything together, there is no spaces and all of that. So I want to know, what is the right way we should build houses, especially when we want to fit into the trend of getting affordable electricity like solar energy and all of that, even ventilation as well.
Okay, about the affordable energy, making it compatible with the affordable homes. One example is there are building codes or building bylaws in every country. Nigeria has its own. I'll give a few examples. For example, if you own a plot in Enugu that I know very much enough, plot sizes are 50 meters by 30 meters. That's your plot standard. If you multiply it, the area of that multiplication is what gives you the average single plot size. When you want to build on this plot from the sides, left and right, you must mark off 3 meters from the boundary of the plot. And on the back, you must mark off minimum that same 3 meters. In front, you must mark off minimum 6 meters. That gives you the required space you need on your own plot. When your neighbor does the same, at least you are having minimum of 20 meters apart. There is no way you will not have adequate wind and light flow in this kind of spacing. The problem you have with the whole jam packing, in your words, is that many people end up not complying with these bylaws. It becomes a very big challenge. Then the building itself in isolation should be designed in a way. There are already existing examples. It's just that, like you say, people copy without reason. Copying without reason in this sense is that people begin to take maybe small windows. In those small windows, you don't achieve the aim of having natural ventilation into the building. Then, the kind of glass window you use, some people may use sliding windows. And when you slide a window, just half of the space is where you have air inflow. Another person may now go the option of using swing windows. And when you swing open the window, the entire space of the window will let in ventilation, but you face the challenge of maybe insects, mosquitoes, and so on. But today, it's no longer a problem because we have mosquito nets that will cover that space as they give you maximum window.
All right.
So it's now a question of, okay,
so I want to now ask how we can avert slums in the long run, because we are trying to, in Nigeria, where we get to see, there are popular slums, very popular slums in different places, and they are known for these things. And one thing I know about the slums is most times doesn't necessarily start off as slums, but when we start to see a degrade in probably the maintenance of the houses, the maintenance of the communities and all of that, and we're not seeing any improvements even in the quality of lives of the people that live there. So gradually, we now get to see, and a slum is formed. How do we avert slums in the long run?
Okay, to avert slums in the long run, through my recent and past projects, I came with the understanding that we will apply this 3-letter word principle, PEM, plan, execute, and manage. In planning, you take your time, put all the things you need that should be in place to make this place sustainable. I'm no longer talking about a single housing unit, but the entire neighborhood. Execute is make sure you follow the plan. If there is any need to adjust on the plan itself, let it be very logical in the adjustments. And then manage. It's not enough to just deliver this wonderful building without paying attention to how it's being run. If there is a damage, how you go about maintaining it. So planning, let me give an example. I understudied some delivered housing estates in Enugu. You will realize that currently on different streets, if not every street, you will still see small shops, maybe a bar or something commercial happening in that street. But most of these places were planned and zoned in such a way that there are residential areas and there are commercial areas. But why are these shops springing up? One of the reasons is that the location for the commercial centers is not enough. Another reason is that people do it uncontrolled. Then, what did I come up with? You usually combine people's defaults and also introduce where you can repulsion from doing that. People's default is that they've been doing this and they seem to be disobeying the zoning ordinance. Then the new planning I proposed is that when you plan these residential neighborhoods, create a pattern at intervals from homes to homes where you site shops on those streets, so that people don't end up building their own kind of makeshift structures in the streets and defacing the whole place. I'm sure if you take a trip yourself after this interview, you will now come to terms with this, my claim. Therefore, if they are already properly planned in the design that there are shops located on these streets already, people will simply go there to locate whatever commercial activities they have. That's planning. Execute. Make sure people follow these plans the way they are done. And in the planning already, you normally create buffers whereby if there are future changes that they can already be accommodated. Then manage. In terms of management, I was able to create a comprehensive list of all the housing estates in Enugu State right now. By the time of compiling my own list, there were 66 housing estates under the Enugu state government. When I did this compilation, it was because their finances, they can simply on the click of their computer, check all these things, plan their movements, their transportations, their logistics, and so on. So that management can never be overemphasized, even though it sounds like a cliche. If people also monitor the use of these facilities, slums can be abated ahead of time.
All right. Thank you very much. We're out of time. I mean, this is a conversation that I feel like we should continue to have. There are so many other things to talk about. Maybe we can reschedule this. But thank you very much, Dr. Agweze Anthony Ikechukwu. Thank you so much. And we had a conversation on building sustainable homes and the future of affordable housing. Please, thank you very much. And take care of yourself. Treat your code.
Thank you very much. And thank you for having me too.
All right.